Yuck. Who wants to set a boundary with a friend? This is not a good time. This is not what I want to do with a friend. My friends are supposed to be my fun place. They're supposed to be the place that I can go to and relax, let my hair down, have a good time, feel like they have my back, feel like I have their back. It's simpatico, ride or die, Thelma and Louise. And then they do something crappy. And I'm sitting here looking at it going, I had this friend and she was great. I loved her so much. We were about the same age. We met at a salon that we worked at together. We had the same sense of humor. Laughter was a reigning theme in our relationship. We loved to do all the same things, but she started to get extremely reckless. She drank a lot, frequently, and a large amount when she did drink. Not only that, she would go home with rando people all the time. One time we were out at some type of bar, restaurant sort of establishment, having a great time. All of a sudden, she's gone. I can't find her anywhere. I'm texting her, I'm calling her. This was over 20 years ago. I can't find her. I know she was talking with this guy. I ask other people if they know who this guy is, what kind of car he drives. The bar restaurant is closing. She drove with me. I can't just leave her somewhere randomly. I'm walking through this parking lot that's just getting emptier and emptier to these few cars that are left. I'm looking in windows. I'm scared. I'm in a dark parking lot by myself and I can't find my friend. Eventually, she texts me back and she emerges out of a car. And I'm like, okay. And we talked a little bit about this, but of course, she was intoxicated. So I'm not sure how much sunk in. But I said, that's scary for me. I don't like this. You left me alone. I couldn't leave you here by yourself. This was a really crappy position that I was put in. She seemed to understand life moved on. And she called me up one morning, it was a Sunday morning, and she said, hi, can you come get me? I'm at blank blank hotel. And I said, yeah. I said, well, how'd you end up there? And she told me that she got intoxicated and went back to a hotel room with not one, but two randos. And guess what? They didn't even know each other. Talk about scary. And this was my best friend, and I was afraid for her. And at the time, I was the ICE, the ICE, in case of emergency contact in her phone. And all I could think about is that one day I'm going to get that random phone call from the police saying, come identify some body because I'm the ICE in her phone. That fear we have of someone being dead in a ditch. So this was a beautiful Sunday morning. I had to pack up my kids, drive down to some random hotel, pick her up, and she didn't even know where her car was. These are just two stories of things that happened all the time. And it got me to a place where I was like, I don't like this. This is not fun for me. This is not good for me. This is scaring me. And I need to have a conversation with her. But she was also frequently quite moody. And I was afraid. I was very, very doormatty back then. I didn't want the backlash. I didn't want her turning it around on me. I didn't want to somehow become the bad guy. I didn't want her to say, mind your own business. So I had to think about this for about a week. I sat on this because I knew I had to say something because this had crossed a threshold for me and I just couldn't do it anymore. So I wrote her a letter, which interestingly enough, about 6 months ago, I was cleaning out a closet and I found it because I had made a copy of it. And I was actually really proud of Kristen of 20 years ago that I actually had the cojones enough to write this letter. Our stations were next to each other in the hair salon. And I was finished for the day because I got off earlier because I had kids and I needed to go home and pick up my kids. And I waited until she went into the back room of the salon. And then I put that letter on her station and I bolted out the door. I was so afraid because so many times in my life when I had spoken up to somebody, they turned it around on me. They made me the bad guy. And what I was doing was attempting to help her, to save her, to talk some sense into her, to tell her how it felt to me. But I was running the risk of this was going to ruin the friendship, and we worked right next to each other. And being that she was a little unpredictable mood-wise, I really wasn't sure what was going to happen. So I left the note, hightailed it out the door. And on my drive home, I think, she called me and she said, I got your letter. And I was scared to death. And she said, I understand. And she said, I've had to write a similar letter to one of my family members, and I understand. And guess what happened? She stopped doing it. She stopped including me in those behaviors. Those behaviors actually continued, but no longer was I the person who had to be front and center on this, waiting for that phone call to come and to identify a body. I realized firsthand how difficult it is to set a boundary with someone that you really don't want to lose. But this is where you need to understand that you are allowing it if you don't speak up, because that person doesn't know. And unless you're willing to respect, honor, and protect yourself, then you are actually agreeing to the behavior. You're actually saying inadvertently that this is okay with you. I know how difficult it is to set boundaries with friends. I know that you're afraid you're going to be alone, that they may abandon you. But I will tell you this, from years and years of healing work and now acquired wisdom, that it is better to be alone than to be disrespected and dishonored. And when you start to love, protect, and honor yourself, you will begin to teach other people how to do the same. And yes, some people may leave your life. Some people may not like that truth in their face. They love hiding. They love ignoring what they're doing. And since you're shining light on the behavior, if you're not around, then they don't have to look at it. So yes, someone might leave your life, but I will tell you this with absolute certainty, that anytime somebody leaves your life because you have loved yourself, you have lifted your vibration, and universe is going to meet you at that. And it's going to start bringing people into your life that are going to equally and mutually respect and honor you the way you are respect and honoring yourself and them. If you would like more information about how to heal your people-pleasing behaviors, your lack of being able to set and maintain healthy boundaries, then I highly recommend you buy my international #1 best-selling book, The Recovering People Pleaser. I'll put the link up here and also in the description below. And if you would like additional help with this, you can always reach out to me for one-on-one personal coaching. The link will be below for that as well. So if you've enjoyed what I've shared with you today, I super hope that you like this. Don't forget to smash the subscribe button and leave me a comment below, because I love to hear what's going on inside your minds and your hearts. And until next time, everybody, remember, you matter. You matter. You matter. Now go love yourself.